All right, recording is started. What we're doing today is we're going to go over all of the tokens that are, that Tatiana had talked about. TINSY is what I'm talking about. All the ones she had talked about that have targets in our long-term plays channel. So of course that's going to be right here, long-term plays channel. And then if you want to go back and look at her post, it's not too far up from where, well, I'll just show you here. Yeah, here it is right here. So if you scroll up just a little bit, you can see all of her targets right there. But these are all superimposed on the charts for long-term plays. And you'll see that as we go through them. I've already marked them on those charts. And anytime you want to, of course, go to long-term plays. You can go through any of these that are listed here and click on the chart, and you'll get the save chart. Same thing that I see, except if you don't have Engineering Robo, you won't be able to see that. But you'll be able to see the lines that I put on there and everything. So these are the tokens we're going through. And really, it was just the first couple of groups there. These are older ones that we did, but some of them overlap. And I am going to go through some of these. But if there are any by the end that I've missed, and you'd like to see them, just post it in the chat there, and I'll try to get to them. I'm trying not to make this video too long, but there's a lot to go through, of course. Let me see. Let me get back to chat. Make sure. Okay, we're ready to go. All right. So if we're just looking at, we've talked about this before. There's like 21% right now of all altcoins on CoinGecko that are bullish. And if we look at that in a visualized way here on Nansen, where's my chart? Here we go. So the purple line is what I just mentioned. There's about 21% of all altcoins that are bullish currently. And you'll see this sometimes where we have a really big pump. This was back October, I believe. What was that? Yeah, October, November. So this happens a lot. You'll get a pump where it's seasonality, October, November area. There's always a huge pump. And it's usually the biggest pump happens during those months. And then sometimes around, March, April is where you get your dip. What was this here? Yeah, here's October, November. This was actually January, February where this one pumped. But what I want you to notice here is that, we're talking about March, April, right? And it could even extend into May before we have that dip. That's what we're looking for. March, April, May, kind of right in that zone. And, you can see here, this purple line, it dipped right around May in 2023. Right here, it kept going. And then right around, the 1st of April, it dipped. So just start thinking in terms of seasonality as you, learn how the market fluctuates, how these cycles work. So what we're looking at is, we're still in this pump, right? Like back here, we had a January, February pump, and then it rolled over about May. So this will turn back up. We will start to see tokens get more bullish again. And I think it'll happen in February because historically that is February is historically the most green month. It's not a super pump month always, but it's the most green month historically for Ethereum. And we want Ethereum to move, so our long-term plays move. All right. Yeah, this is the MVRV Z-score. I'm not going to spend much time on this, except to say that it needs to be, further up here for us to know the top's in. You can see these tops happened when this score was much higher. So, the top's not in. I know you got a lot of people saying that it is, but it's not. So don't pay attention to those people on YouTube or Twitter that are saying that it is, because they're wrong. So here's what we're looking for going forward. We've got this MACD that is bullish. Remember, if it's over the midline, then things are bullish. This would have to be way down here to be bearish. And this is a daily chart on Bitcoin, by the way. So what we're looking for as far as dates going forward is we've got a full moon coming up in February 12th. And usually a plus minus 5-day window is when things can pump. And I'm not saying it can't just pump right now. It could. But let's just say it stagnates and, just kind of goes sideways for a little bit. I would be looking for February 7th to the 12th, somewhere in that window, that 5-day window. And, we would see a pump by that point. I'm almost positive. So we'll see how it plays out. But usually that's the way it works when you're in a bull market anyway. The full moon isn't near as powerful in a bear market. In fact, it's kind of the reverse. And then, going forward past that, we'd be looking at February 28th. That's kind of where we want to start watching, and Tatiana and Rod and I, we'll be watching and saying, okay, does the market look overheated? Does it seem like retail is starting to jump in? Is the sentiment really high? And an even bigger component is, are we seeing this purple line here, which basically indicates, if you're looking at a moving average, it's the 30-day moving average crossing above the 360-day. So it's a fast moving average crossing over a slower one. And what I want you to notice is that up here is the exit threshold, this pink line. Down here is the entry threshold. So this is cheap down here. This is a discount, and this is a premium at the very top right there. And when I say premium, I mean we should be selling when it gets closer to this. So let's say that this purple line eventually does get close to here, and that would correlate with maybe 90% of the tokens being bullish. Then we would want to be out by that point. And you can see here in 2021, not only did it happen once in May, it got way up here into this pink line, but it also, created a lower high. Once it crosses down, you should already be saying, yeah, I mean, this bull run is probably over at this point. But we did, in November 2021, did get a lower high. So, Tatiana was talking about this recently. You may have missed it in the VIP chat. We may still get that October top or maybe another pump. Maybe it's a lower high. We don't know. But what we're looking for is the alts, at the very least, to have a really nice move into, March, April, May, somewhere in there. We're thinking it's probably March, April. And then there will be a big dip into summer, because there always is. And then we're going to buy back. And she says she's got a token that she hasn't released yet. She'll let y'all know what it is. And then we'll make money on the next, move up from there. Because really the bull market is not over until 1,071 days from the bottom to the top. It could change this time, I don't know. But I think it's probably going to work out about the same. And that would be around October. All right, hopefully that makes sense to you. Here's Ethereum, just waiting for it to break above this downtrend line. Not a whole lot to say there. And when Ethereum pumps, we're going to see all of our altcoins pump as well. Now, there is a little bit of an exception. Maybe your token is already pumped really hard. And I'll show you a couple of those as we go through them. Those are probably not the ones you want to be as interested in unless they correct some. But we'll go over those individually. Here's USDT dominance. It is currently rejecting, which we want to see. Here is what we would be looking at on Bitcoin dominance if it does indeed reject at this trend line right here, which I expect that it will. We're already, we've talked about those wicks before to the upside. We're seeing some of those wicks to the upside here. So hopefully that is the rejection area and we won't get above this. I don't think that we will get above this, but we'll see. I mean, we should see something like this, just like it did back here. And this would indicate that, the alt season is in full swing once that happens. Okay, what do we have? Okay, so now we're going to get into our charts. And don't worry about these boxes and stuff. They don't really matter. I should have just deleted them. Okay, so if y'all have any questions while I'm going through this, interrupt me is fine, or type it in the chat there. That's fine. So IONET is our first one, and I'm just going, if you're kind of following along here on the long-term plays, I'm just going like top to bottom, how they were, listed on there. Let me find it. So starting here at the very top, here's IONET, and I'm just gonna, work my way down here. So as far as an accumulation zone, I mean, I think we're at it, TP1. Could it drop below it? Sure. One thing you could do, let me turn off Engineering Robo. So we'll talk about the chart first, and then we'll talk about the smart money, what it looks like. But I'll try to go through this a little quicker. I don't know where I want to put this, maybe something like that. So here's what you'd be looking for with IONET, which, we got in way down here. We were talking about it and saying, it looked like a pretty good token to be in, and then it rejected at TP2. And, typically this is going to be a fib line, which is math, so, it's not magic when we put these lines here. It just so happens that this, these support and rejection areas align with math very well. And Tatiana has her own method as well, the box method we talked about. So sometimes she can even be more accurate than this. So what you're looking for, we're going to call TP1 support, and we're hoping that we see a breakout right here. So if you want to just wait for the breakout, that's the easiest play. That's the safest play. I don't know if I have MACD on here. Did somebody have a question? I heard somebody. I guess not, okay. All right, so let's look at smart money. And, you know, of course, on these, we do have if you zoom out, I've put the target that Tatiana set. Remember, if you go back to her post on her alert channel, she has all these targets. So we've already got them on the charts for you for most of these. So just make sure that you zoom out. And here's a smart money. Not a whole lot of smart money. This is gonna be a theme, right, with Ethereum tokens right now. The smart money wallets that we track are just not that interested in ETH yet. You know, once they see ETH break out, they're gonna jump into it. But you do have some people like this LFG, LFG fam is the wallet name. You know, they've got a lot. They've got 89,000, well, they bought 63,000 within the last 30 days. So yeah, I mean, there's only actually only one smart money wallet in this, but they're gonna come in. I mean, they're just waiting on Ethereum to do something. So I wouldn't worry about this. We're early on accumulating these. And yeah, I mean, I've heard the concerns that you've had about, you know, my token is 50% down, my token's 70% down, whatever. But we've talked about that before, right? Where we were saying, we're not really worried. You know, yeah, maybe we were early in accumulating, that's fine. We just have to be patient, and these are gonna pump eventually. We were fine with a 50% dip. It's no big deal, because what is a 50% dip to a 10x move? It doesn't really matter. Let's see, okay, so HGPT, this was a really good one. Is this the right one? Yeah, HGPT. So it had a nice move, and we were talking about this, I don't know if we were talking about here or here, either TP1 or TP2, we were talking about it being a resistance area, and it did end up rolling over and, you know, creating a lower high here. So currently there is an AI sell, but you know, let's just say it comes back down to support. You always want to buy at support if you can, you know, and then if buying close to these lines matters, and then if it dips back below support for a little bit, you know, maybe you get a daily close below it, then just get out and wait to see what happens. Then it gets back above support, then you get back in. You don't always have to follow the engineering robo signals. You know, if we turn those off, this is what we were using before engineering robo, is the lines that I had put on here. So you would just treat this as your buy area right here between support and bullish, or since it bounced right off the bullish line, if you want to wait and see if it retests again, then you could buy here. But, you know, it could dip down here to support one more time. I don't know. You know, we can't really predict what the market's going to do in a short term, but we do know a long term that it's going to pump. And then, you know, of course, we got the target there. Yeah, so this one has quite a few more smart money, and I would consider 4 smart money a lot for an ETH token right now. I think, oh, actually, this is the BNB version. I don't know if maybe it is BNB. No, I don't know. Maybe Tatiana can answer that. Just see here. Anyway, there's smart money activity in it, and 4 smart money for, you know, any of these non-Solana tokens is pretty good right now. You're going to see a lot more though. We're going to go over some that have a lot more. A lot of these tokens are going to have AI cells currently. I'm not worried about that. Let's see, support, bullish. Yeah, I mean, this seems to be in an uptrend to me. You know, it's got a channel that it's working on here anyway. Something like that. So you just want to see this continue, and it'll eventually break out of this, but I'm just trying to see if I can see anything here. I mean, some people might say, well, that looks like a bearish pattern, because this created a lower high, and it's, you know, it's kind of moving up this way while it's creating that lower high. So yeah, I mean, I could see the argument that this may come back down to support, but yeah, you'd probably want to be a buyer here if it did. Remember, we want to be in the tokens that are cheap. You know, if you got a token that's way up here at the current all-time high, then maybe that one's not as attractive to you. You know, we want to buy things that are very cheap, that have more room to move. So, you know, consider that. Is that the one I was talking about? Oh, yeah, GRT, that's what I meant, okay. All right, so GRT on smart money, we have 24, yeah, so it's got a lot. This was a very popular one last cycle. You got like Spartan Group, there's some of these funds in it, Spartan Group. Big Brain is a good one. So yeah, that one's looking good. And this is just, you know, we're kind of showing you some some tokens that you might want to look into, that you might want to invest in. SNSY, we already know, it's a really good one. We were buying down here. I don't think I had a TP set for this one, but you know, once something does like a 10x or something, you may want to think about taking some profits for sure. So what we're looking for here, I did expect that this was definitely going to get into this support line. The only thing I don't know is will it reject one more time and come deeper into this? But if you were waiting to buy this one, then you know that was your support line to buy it at. These shoulders right here, they do tend to get retested. So what is that? 00225 could still happen. But if you just don't want to take the chance of missing it, then you know maybe you want to buy it now. Or what I would say is watch something like the 3 hour maybe chart. What does the 1 hour look like? Yeah, the 1 hour MACD is already turning up. So I don't know. It's hard to read what this one's going to do just yet, but just understand that, you know, just because it bounced off of this line doesn't mean it's just automatically ready to go. It could still come up in here and, you know, keep coming down some. So just, I mean, the thing to know is you're getting a discount, right? You're not buying way up here. So if this is one you really like, then, you know, maybe you just want to wait for the MACD to curl up on the daily and you're ready to go. And then as far as smart money, how many is this? There's about 7 in this one. And you can see there was some selling recently within the last 7 to 30 days. So, you know, maybe some of the sell activity is starting to go away and it can find a base. Okay, I need to go quicker here because I've got a lot to go through. What do we have here? Renderer. I should have another line here somewhere, maybe here. Or maybe my bullish line should move up. Maybe we'll do something like that. Where's my support? Some of these I haven't looked at in a while. Okay, so render, it's a little bit higher cap. Remember your target is on there. You need to zoom out on these charts to see what that target is. So yeah, I mean, treat this bullish line as your support because there is some, you know, resistance was here. Here was some support and resistance where a lot of volume was taking place for buyers and sellers. So I could see it may be holding here or just dipping slightly under. But if it got down to support, then you'd probably be a buyer for sure. But this is only for people that want to play, you know, higher cap tokens. I'm not really interested in these higher caps, but it's up to you. This one probably will have a lot of smart money. Yeah, it's got, what, 22? Tau, I know a lot of you are interested in this one. Looks like it might be curling up. I would suspect, you know, it's either going to make another retest of the TP2 now, or it's just going to go sideways for a bit. Target on this one's 8,500, hopefully. Let's see, we've got 21 smart money on that one. We don't really go over the smart money that much on these because it takes a long time to bring them all up. It's a lot to review, but you know, we will do it every once in a while just to kind of show you what it looks like. Okay, Moonwell, I know a lot of, I think, what is this, a base play? Yeah. So I know a lot of you were interested in this one. I would say this looks really good, this support does, because look at this little shoulder here where it was support and resistance back here. So if you get lucky and it does dip down to the support level, I would suspect that would be the base, you know, that it probably wouldn't get under there. You know, but if you don't want to take a chance, then, you know, maybe this is a place for you to go ahead and accumulate if you're looking to buy something. And then this one has a pretty good number of smart money, you know, for not being all that well known. I think this is a ETH token. No, it's a base token. Sorry, I just said that, didn't I? Yeah, so about 17 smart money on that, on Moonwell. Okay, did you lose audio, Epi, or can you hear now? Well, I'll just keep recording. Let me know. Okay, OSMO. Let's see what Osmo's doing here. I may have to go to a weekly. Sometimes when these have a much more of a history, I have to go to weekly to look at it. Yeah, I mean, there's some support resistance here. Maybe it'll hold where this wick was. Okay, good. Glad y'all can hear. So maybe, you know, this could be, I could even push support up to here maybe. Yeah, I mean, that looks better to me. And then we could put the bullish, something like that. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, this isn't a bad place to accumulate this one if you like it. I mean, technically it is still a buy signal here. But if you were to lose a support line, you could just get out. This is probably like a spring move where it, or what do they call it, crossing the river on Wyckoff. So it got back above this downtrend line that was created. And now it likely is going to use it as support. I doubt it gets back down here, but it could, especially because we're running out of time on the pump. It's got to happen soon, probably early February, at least by mid-February. So let's see, Osmo. Oh yeah, this is osmosis. So on some of these, I'm not going to have a smart money, view of it because they are their own DEX or their own L1, whatever you want to call it. So some of these don't have a contract address I can look up on, on Nansen. So all we can do is look at the chart on that one. Okay. Oh, okay. Thanks, Epi. Yeah, you were talking about HGPT being BNB. All right. Jupiter. We like these patterns here that go sideways. Like if we were to just remove these lines, I'm trying to remember the token Tatiana called a while back. It was earlier last year, but there was a token that looked a lot like this where it was just like sideways price action. Here, let me get rid of the price line because it's kind of in the way. Okay. So, just sideways consolidation for many, many months, and then finally it breaks out and has a really nice move. So always remember, I just want to make mention of this, on our education channel, you can go here at any time and look at this, but always remember this part right here. Here's our consolidation pattern. It's very powerful. Falling wedge is very powerful, and triangle breakout. So these are like your three most powerful patterns that you want to watch for in charts. And the more you look at these charts, the more you'll see it. What were we on? Jupiter, yeah. Yeah, so if we can get this back above this line, which I know I got rid of my bullish line and everything. Let's just make that the bullish line. So once it gets above the bullish, then it's ready to go, I think. And what you're trying to think of is, okay, it keeps hitting resistance, fails, it's holding support, and then it gets back above, so it's probably ready to go. So, we're just waiting for it to break through resistance again. It does have a 5 score on the social intelligence engineering robo thing, so it is bullish. And then we'll look at smart money. Looks like there's been a lot of selling lately. Let me bring that up again. Yeah. So anytime you see red here on Nansen, that means there's been selling within that time period, 24 hours, 7 days, 30 days. So some people are taking profits at, like these people right here, last 24 hours. Let me just look at that again. They're probably realizing that that's the resistance area. And they're saying, okay, well, I bought down here. I'm just going to take profit here and I'll see what happens. Because they could always buy back. Like say this gets above and then it holds the support. They could always buy back right there. So they're just trying to protect their profits, I would suspect. Okay, so there's currently, 44 smart money in Jupiter. Pretty good project. Looks like I need to adjust this. Okay, so we're looking at Beam now. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, yeah, I like those 2 lines there. I thought at one time it was going to hold this box, but it didn't. So here we've got one that had a really quick rejection, and it's been a while since we talked about it, but remember our RSI 30-70 rule, where if you get something dip below the 30 or just touch it, usually that's a really good bargain on a daily chart. So maybe this is still a really good buy at this point. And then once it gets back up to 70, you could sell. It happens many times. Like here's a 30, dips under 30, gets back above. You could have sold there. Just another strategy you can use. If anybody wants me to go over that, I'll go over it in the future again. So kind of a cup and handle thing, although the handle dipped way lower than it should have, and that's why I thought it was going to hold here. But yeah, I mean, this looks fine for a buy if you're thinking about Beam. And then smart money, they've got about 31 smart money followers, or 31 smart money wallets that have purchased it. Okay, Superverse, I think this one's called. Currently an AI sell, could come all the way back down to support here because it is under the bullish line. There is a lot of support there, so I would suspect that would hold this time if it does get down here. I mean, it could just create a higher low, right? And then our target on this one's 14. And what do we have? 18 smart money. Okay, yeah, okay. So ILV, that's alluvium. Let me go to weekly maybe. Sometimes I'll go to a higher time frame just to get a better view. And then I'll work my way down. Yeah, I mean, we could drag this down to these wicks right there and say that's support, but I mean, we don't really know just yet because it seems to be, that's why engineering robo can be so powerful for you. It keeps you out of downtrends, because you don't know where the bottom is sometimes. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about this chart. I'd probably stay away from it for now, because we don't know if it's going to get below support or what. I mean, what you could do if you wanted to play this one, ILV, is just wait for it to get above the bullish line, and then you'd feel better about that play. I think this, yeah, does it have, okay, yeah, I'm able to look at smart money. So 13 smart money holders on Illuvium. I'm still trying to go fast here because we got a lot of them to go through. And any late joiners, I will timestamp these so you can go back and look at them in the recording. Hedera hash graph, what is that one? HBAR, I think. So this is one of the ones I was talking about where it already had a nice pump. How much did this one go? I probably, personally wouldn't consider this one until it, yeah, it's about an 8x move. So I wouldn't consider this one until it had a bit of a dip. I mean, it could keep going though. This is a pattern that does keep going sometimes. But you can imagine if this was a big, like we could call it an Adam and Eve pattern, or a big cup and handle. What was the one we were looking at just a minute ago? Hang on one second. There was one we were just looking at. There it is. So this is the same pattern before a pump. So beam maybe one you want to look at. Let me just go back to that chart so you can see it. Here it is. So if you're just looking at this, doesn't that look a lot like what beam just looked like? So it's possible beam, I'm not saying it's going to do an 8x immediately, but it's possible beam could make a pretty good move once the market gets going, just based on that fractal pattern. So a lot of wicks to the upside here. There is some resistance there. I mean, it could still push up some, but the ultimate target that Tatiana had set for this one at 80 cents, it's already getting close to that. So it's kind of overheated, right? You could even wait for it to, just see what happens with it. So, you're buying at a premium here instead of buying at a discount is the point. Even if you were watching Engineering Robo, you would have bought here. You wouldn't be buying way up here while it was already, an AI buy signal. We want to buy as cheap as we can. There isn't a way to search that one on Smart Money, by the way, so I can't pull that one up. Okay, Kujira, yeah, back at support for Kujira. I think we were talking about it back here and it made a pretty good move. Currently an AI sell. Let me just look at something here. Yeah, so this is your accumulation zone, right around the support line. It's not always going to be the exact line, it's more of a zone, think of it that way. So, yeah, I mean, it looks okay here for a buy. Maybe it comes back down one more time. But if you want to be super safe about this one, then just wait for the bullish above break, wait for it to get above there. And again, you can go on long-term plays and pull any of these up, so you'll see exactly what I'm seeing. And then KUJI, well, it's got one smart money wallet in it, but barely anything. It is on multiple, yeah, see, it's on multiple chains, so there are other smart money wallets in it. So it really just depends on where you're buying it, but it all works out the same. I mean, they'll all pump. Yeah, so there's a couple smart money in it, is how I see it. Let me get rid of this. Don't need that. Okay, TON, this is the Telegram token, I believe. I don't really want to look at, I'm not worried about engineering robo here so much. I just want to see my lines. Let's see, so this one made, what was this, July, February. Yeah, that's tough. The thing is, I can't tell if this one's going to hold here or not. What was this pump? Usually what I look, oh, okay, so that's only like a 2 or 3x pump. That's not that much. Yeah, so it could hold there. Of course, if you were, I mean, this is a really good buy, right? Because it's at a discount. You're right at the bullish line. You always want to treat that as support if it comes back down to it. So you could buy here, and then if for some reason it has a dip below, then just get out, because it could come back down to support. But or just buy a little bit here and just say you're going to hold it. And then if it comes down to support, buy some more. Remember, these dips aren't really going to matter that much in the long run. And then smart money, we've got 9 smart money holders on that one. This is the wrapped version. That's the only one I can look up on Nansen. Okay, CCD Concordium is one that Tatiana likes. It's a little bit harder to find unless you have access to a centralized exchange, which I don't really have much. I mean, I'd probably own some of this if I could get to it easy, but if you're not able to buy things like this, then we'll look at XPRT here in a minute. It's kind of the same situation. It's a really discounted, heavily discounted token. I think, yeah, this one I can't actually look up on, I can't look it up on Nansen. But this could be support. It's looking pretty good for support so far. Anytime you see, many red candles like this in a row and they're kind of going down in an angle, usually this is a bullish sign or a bullish reversal eventually. So it could find some support here at these two candles and get ready to move up. We'll just see what that looks like on lower time frame. Yeah, I mean, it looks okay to me. I doubt it gets back below support. I'd be surprised if it did. Okay, ORAI, let me turn off this. Yeah, a lot of these, it's the same story on a lot of these, right? They're back to the bullish line. They're retesting support. I know this is called support, but remember, I'll also call bullish line support or TP1 support if it gets above the line and then, comes back to it. So yeah, I could see this line holding because there was a lot of support resistance before and then now it's holding it. Yeah, I mean, I would treat a lot of these tokens as just a timing thing. We're just waiting on the pump, which is coming soon. And then we're gonna, take our profits in March, April, May, whatever it may be. We'll kind of be watching out for that for you. And we got 12 smart money on ORAI. Okay, SUI, I would say because of this move, I think that it could dip some here. And what I would suspect is maybe something like that. Maybe it could dip down to here and hold this line. But there's also the opportunity or the chance that it could come down to here for like a 50% retracement. And this one does make a lot of sense because it would come back down to this, this shoulder. So if you're looking at SUI, I wouldn't be buying this. I mean, it's just, it's already made its move or it's already made its first move. So, maybe wait for it to come back down here. And if you miss it, that's fine. It's not something we really talk about much. It's fine if you miss a token. I mean, look how many other tokens there are that are, in a spot that gives you a better discount to where you're not taking so much risk after a big move like this. And I don't even think that this is that big of a move from a multiplier standpoint. But when you get to a higher cap token like this, a 4x move is pretty big, for a higher cap. And that one, by the way, I can't look at Nansen for either. Okay, here's XPRT. If you don't have access to CCD, if you can't get Concordium somewhere, or maybe you want both of them, it's up to you. XPRT is another option though for one that has, it has had a big. The reason why this one's so good and why Tatiana likes it so much, we've talked about it a few times, but you don't see a lot of support that was established as the price went down, so any support, maybe if it has established itself sideways for a long time, that would also be resistance on the way back up. So what you're seeing here is the only real heavy resistance is probably right here, because there was a wick right there before. So as this thing comes back up, I mean, there could be some here too at the bullish line, but as this thing comes back up, if it gets back above this one and starts to move, there's really no or not much resistance in this area. Gaps, if you're thinking about Bitcoin, they always talk about, oh, well, it has to return to the gap. That would be a point where, price just either fell really hard or pumped really hard. And that's kind of what happened here. It just fell really hard. So, keep that in mind that's one of the reasons that we like this one. And then there's I don't think it's well, it probably is on a different chain actually. I'm not really worried that there's not, let's see. I'm not so worried that there's not any smart money in this one. They'll jump on later. It's not a very well-known one, but that's fine, whatever. I don't care. I mean, sometimes we're going to be smart money, right? And we don't have to always focus on what other people are doing. Okay, support did change on this one a bit. What am I looking at? PYTH. So PYTH network, I don't think we've ever really talked about this one, but it is on the list. I would suspect that, yeah, this is probably support for it because we are getting, you know, like we were saying, the timer is starting to run out on this pump where it's going to have to pump soon. So, you know, even if it was to dip a little bit from here, I think it'd still be fine. So if you like this project, $4 is the target. And let's look at smart money. Yeah, same thing as persistence. Not a whole lot interested in it just yet. This is a Solana chain token, but you know, they will, what is the market cap? Okay, 1 billion. So to me personally, I probably wouldn't be interested in this one because it's over 1 billion, but you know, it's what I do. I play very low cap tokens. Okay, what do we have? BOSON. So most of these are going to have engineering robo sell signals. I'm not really worried about what engineering robo is saying on most of these. If I had to guess, I would say, I don't know, somewhere in here is probably going to be the support line. So this one could still come down one more time, but it's hard to say. I mean, it may be holding here because there was some support there before. I mean, I could even move this up to like right there. Yeah. I mean, it's possible that it holds there, but you know, just use this as the kind of like the last line that it could touch before it moves up, I think. I'll just save that. It looks pretty good. What is this one? Okay, so yeah, that looks better. And then your target on this one's 669. And we've got about 5 smart money in it. I don't think there's yeah, there is another chain, Polygon. Okay, so it looks like everybody buying it is buying it off the Ethereum chain. Okay, jumping over to, what is this, Goldfinch? Another good, you know, that was an RWA, of course, with BOSON. We've talked about that one before. Goldfinch, we maybe don't talk about as much. It's a little bit higher cap than BOSON, I believe. But this one's looking really good too. I mean, there's your shoulder. Hopefully this is the support. I guess you could even say something like that could be the support. But again, we're not so worried about that if it was to dip a little bit more. Actually, that is a pretty good dip, wouldn't it? 45 cents. That'd be about, you know, 3x down, basically. So I don't know. I mean, you could take a chance here at the support if you really want this one. And, you know, it's the timing thing. I just don't think it's going to, unless things dip really quickly and then recover really quickly, I don't think you're going to see much more dip at this point. It's probably just going to be a slow grind down or sideways, and then, you know, we'll pump sometime, you know, early February, mid-February, something like that. And then Goldfinch, we've got about 10 smart money wallets in it. And there are some funds in it as well. I mean, the funds don't really matter as much. We know that, you know, just individual smart money wallets is good enough, but, you know, it could give you more confidence. Okay, ONDO looks pretty strong here. This box was drawn about a month ago, and you know, some of these boxes didn't hold. This one did. But you know, even if this does kind of look like a bearish pattern, actually, it's hard to say. I mean, if it gets above, what is this, 160? If it gets back above 160, then that's not bearish anymore. It's bullish. But you know, if it was to roll back over, then that would be your support level to buy, that bullish line. And that would be a really good place, you know, to accumulate some. But again, we're running out of time here, so it would have to have a quick dip if it was going to happen. 56 smart money holders on this one. It's a higher market cap, 5 billion. You know, of course, it's going to have more smart money. There's more eyes on it. Okay, we got a few more here, and then if y'all have any questions, we can do them. Opulus is the one we've talked about a lot. Kind of the same idea as, what was that one we were looking at? I don't remember what it was, but you know, kind of a sideways consolidation that eventually, if it breaks out of it, you know, there's not a whole lot of resistance here. You know, it could have a pretty good move. I don't think this is one that we set a target on. This is probably one that I listed on there. So there's not really a final target on it. I would just use these TP2, TP3 lines as that target. I may even want to move this one. I don't know. Well, I'll just leave it where it was because it's probably based on fibs. And it could get above that. I mean, I don't really know. That would be a huge move. But, I mean, what I would be looking at on this one is TP2 minimum. And then we'll see what happens after that. I don't know what that would be. Actually, that would be a pretty big move too, wouldn't it? Well, we'll see. I mean, we know when price is going back up, when these are in the pennies, the penny area, and things get really bullish. We have to watch these mental stop areas like $1. A lot of people are going to say, well, this one's probably not going to make it over $1, so I'm just going to sell everything here. So you'd probably see a lot of resistance at those whole numbers like that, and maybe even something like 50 cents. So, we'll just kind of watch these as they go up. Actually, this one was rejecting at 40 cents roughly. But you can see that was an area of support at 1.2. So when you have confluence like that, see how that was support and then it turned resistance. So, you really have to get back above that line to get moving again or to have a big move. Okay, OPUL has, let me get over to the Smart Money tab, has about 12 wallets that are in it. Yeah. Spartan Group, AU, 21 Capital, Jump Trading, Jump Capital, they're all in it. Did I not have lines in this one? What did I? Oh, there it is, okay. I haven't looked at MUBI in a while. Yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest looking chart, that's for sure, but sometimes these just sweep the lows of the previous. It's really strange though, because we played this one way back here, late 2024 or 2023. This is when I first started using Nansen, that's right. We didn't actually have the group at the time. So MUBI made a 10x move, and now it's retraced that whole move and then some, so that's kind of strange. I don't know that I would really be interested in this one at this point, but if you were looking for a buy area, I would say watch this area right here, because I don't really, this could be support, I suppose. Somebody was asking about MUBI, that's the only reason I'm covering it. Yeah, so just treat that as support, and then if you want to be safe, wait for it to get back above the bullish line, because that's where it was before. And then MUBI has 8 smart money wallets, so it's over time it's lost a lot of interest. People aren't watching it as much. QUBIC, this one I get questions about a lot. Let me just check. Do I have a different chart on this one? Yeah. So this box, I had one box here and it blew through that one, and this was the second one that I had that I thought it could hold. So there's a chance that it has found some support here, and I could even move this. Let's see. I don't know, somewhere in there. That's probably a more accurate support line. So you're seeing these wicks to the downside, and price is kind of going sideways now. It could be finding support. You want to see that next higher low. So that would occur when it was above the bullish line here, I would suspect. This bullish line could be adjusted a little bit there. Yeah, so if you're interested in QUBIC, this is a fine place to be accumulating. I don't think it's going to matter that much. This is a bull flag. It has retraced. If you put your fib line on it, it has retraced down to the golden pocket. Could come down to the 786, but that would, that'd be pretty weak for it to do something like that after a big pump. It's clearly bullish overall, but you're back down into support levels now that were once resistance, and I think you're going to find your support there, and it'll make its move sometime by March, April, I suspect. And then again, I can't look at QUBIC on there because it's an L1. It doesn't have a contract address to look on Nansen. This is CASPA, another popular one. Let me turn this off. Okay. So it did hold the box that we drew. It is getting back above the 50 RSI line. It's another one of these sideways consolidations after a huge move. So is this reaccumulation? Is this possibly distribution? It could be. And distribution just means that people are selling, selling the top here, and then eventually there's so much sell pressure that it has to roll over, back to these previous, like this was a volume area high where there was a lot of volume right here. It was like resistance support for a while. So if it was to retrace, it would, there's a lot of, there's kind of like a big gap here where there wasn't much price action, at least sideways. So, that would be the place that it would return to, somewhere in here. Remember, this one had a huge move. So we were talking back in July, I think it was last year, that Yeah, that's like a, what, 150x? Yeah. So if somebody had bought way down here, that's a 150x move. You can imagine them buying it so cheaply. They've got a ton of coins, and it takes a lot of selling to get rid of those coins. So you're getting a lot of resistance here. So to play it super safe with this one, number one, I probably wouldn't buy it unless it got back above the bullish line. And number two, if it got below the support line, I'd be very concerned. Because again, there's no, it could just fall all the way back to here really quickly. And I'm not trying to scare, cash investors at all. I'm just saying, use good judgment with something like this and don't put yourself in a bad position. And then 4 smart money wallets. Let me just see. There's one here on BNB as well. Yeah. So it's got a few, but I don't know that really accurately represents Caspa, and could be the case with a lot of these coins. There's probably a much bigger cult that follow these than what you're seeing on the smart money wallet side of things. Okay, this is one of Rod's favorites, TITANX, and it's back to the resistance area. So now it's support. Probably an okay place to accumulate if you want to. I don't know how quickly it'll move, but again, you could buy here, and then if you got some kind of daily candle close below, then just get out, and then you can get back in if it gets above support. So that's why you want to buy close to lines like that are support lines. It allows you to lower your risk. If you have to get back out of it, then you only lose like 10 to 20%. And then TITANX has, 6 smart money wallets? Yeah. Okay, last one. We've got ENQAI. And for some reason, this could end up just being another wick, but surely this isn't the support way down here. And there's always a chance these come back down and retest these lower wicks, but I don't know. Maybe this is just like a spring, like we were talking about earlier, where it just kind of sweeps the low and then pumps back out of it. I just can't imagine this one, as long as it's gone sideways like this, that that it's not going to have a pretty good move eventually. So yeah, not much to say on that one. I don't think, I think it's just going to sweep the lows, and this support will end up being pretty accurate, I would imagine. And then on smart money, yeah, it's got a lot of smart money. It's a pretty popular one on, it's got a big cult as well. I know Luke likes this one a lot. Okay, yeah, there are some funds in that one as well. Funds don't like to lose money, right? So we'll see what happens. Let me just go through some of this real quick. Make sure there's no questions. Here, I'm just going to check my DMs to see if there's any. Okay. All right, let me look here in the chat. Oh yeah, AGRS, that is one I wanted to look at. I'm glad you brought that one up. Yeah, this one dipped a lot more than I expected it to. In fact, once this breakout happened, you can see I had that line there. I thought it was just going to hold this line, but yeah, it just kept on going down. This kind of looks like a token that I've seen before recently, and I'm trying to remember which one it was. Sometimes you'll start seeing these patterns. Yeah, to me, it looks like it could be getting some support here. Let's just see what the daily look. Yeah, that's a double. Well, it's a short-term double bottom. But this is the first time. There's no guarantee that this is going to hold right here, but what you want to see, if we can start to get some higher lows here, even just get one higher low there, that'll make you feel better about it, because it hasn't done that in a while. Back here would have been the last time, late last year. So we've got support. Let me just see if I can put a bullish line in a better spot here. Maybe here. Yeah, so that'll give you a closer bullish line to watch. I'll save this. And we do have our target, $49. Of course, we'll have to see on that. The further something goes down, the target could pull down more, right? So, maybe TP3 is your target now. But as we get closer to the market top and we feel like it's getting closer, we're going to use that as the timing. to say, okay, we need to look at our alts and see where they're at. All the alts do have their own timing, but at the same time, they're heavily controlled by what the market's doing. So if DXY is going down, which I'd be interested to see. Well, first let me pull up AGRS. I'm really interested to see what the DXY looks like right now. Yeah, so AGRS has 3 smart money wallets, which is pretty good at this point, for an Ethereum chain token. But if we were looking at DXY, just out of curiosity, because I really don't look at it that much. Yeah, I still think it's ready to roll over. I mean, look at that. That's perfect. So what is this, the daily? So we've got kind of a head and shoulders thing on the RSI, and then it broke below that. All we want to see is this reject at the 50 line now, and then it'll roll over. And you got an AI sell signal on Engineering Robo just a few days ago. So this is looking pretty good to me. Yeah, I think it is going to roll over some more. But just getting back to AGRS, to play it safe, you could wait for this dollar, what is that, $1.35, 36, somewhere in there. Get back above there. But maybe you're already holding. I think I still hold some of this as well. So if you're already holding, I would just say, keep holding it. It'll be fine. I wonder if we have any divergences on this one. Oh, I already had it open. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything, but you did almost get a 30 touch on the RSI there, so that would indicate we're possibly close to bottom. But remember, if it's below the 50 RSI, that means it's bearish. So we really needed to get going, and I think this one is on the Engineering Robo alerts channel. So if it does get a buy signal, you'll know. And that's the other safe way to play it, right? Just wait for that. Farina wants me to look at Dimista. Don't know. Hang on, let me look at. Is this like a New Yorker thing, like Dimista? You may not get that joke. Probably because my my New York. What do they call it? What do they call that when you try to imitate somebody's voice? My New Yorker imitation's not any good. Dimista token. Am I spelling it right? DY. Yeah, I don't see that one, Farina. Usually it'll pull right up if it's on, like if it's on CMC or something. Oh, Dimension, okay. Let me just see if I can get a, yeah, here we go. Osmosis chain, is that what it is? Okay, I can't see anything on Nansen, but let's see if we can pull up the chart. Oh, I guess it's, it must be something else like an ordinal, or let me just look at it again. I mean, the best I can do, it looks like, it does say it's on TradingView though, that's weird. I think this is the best I can do, is just look at the coin market cap chart, because it's not, well, let me see, let me try one other thing here. Dimension, maybe this is it. There we go, okay. Yeah, I mean, it is touching the 30 RSI here, kind of like it did back here before it had a small move. There is an AI sell signal. So yeah, I mean, this is possibly a support line right there, because you did touch the 30 and then it got back above it. So, if you wanted to take a chance here, sure, but you'd want to let it go if it got below the support line of, well, roughly 85 cents. Frank, at what point in AGRS would you sell? Not looking too good. I'm just gonna keep holding it. I mean, we're close to everything pumping, so I think it'll be fine. Yeah, you're welcome, Frina. Epicure, QUIL, and SBR you wanted to look at, okay. I think I have a QUIL chart. And I don't know, is QUIL? Yeah, there is a wrapped, oh yeah, that's right, we've looked at this before. Yeah, there's a lot of smart money interested in QUIL. I remember 25 holders, and it looks like somebody's still accumulating. Remember, we were talking about this back in October, November, how people were accumulating. It was so strange because, you know, QUIL was just going down like crazy. Where's it at? Here we go. So, I mean, there's nothing here to indicate that the bottom's in just yet, although it did touch the 30 line there. Yeah, I mean, the safest play is just wait for this trend line to break, but it's possible that it's trying to create a higher low now for the first time in a long time. So I was just guessing at this support line. I could probably just move it up to here. And hopefully that is the support line now. But, you know, we'll just have to see, you know, it faked out right there at this trend line. It could fake out one more time and create a double bottom. I guess we could pull the, let's see, let's just make that the bullish line for now. That'd be fun. Okay, and then SBR, I've actually got that pulled up on another screen here. Well, you know what? I may have this saved. Let me see. Yeah. So we're at 53 cents. Oh, okay. I've kind of seen this pattern before. I mean, it's close to the bottom. I can't say that that's the exact bottom there. I don't know if I would want to move it there or something. I mean, it could dip a little bit more. But, you know, anytime, it's really strange how these fractals work. Like, there's an angle element to it, like the angle of the chart. And, you know, if it has a really big wick down like this one, you know, really big move, quick move down like this, usually it will find support, you know, somewhere around that 50 to 60% area. It won't revisit this wick. So I would suspect this one's going to hold somewhere in here. But, you know, every chart's a little bit different. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking to accumulate or if you're holding, then I think you're pretty good here. I don't think this token's going away. You know, I wouldn't suspect it to anyway. The people that created it, even though they created it as a meme, you know, why would you get rid of the project, right? You know, the meme project, you'd want to hold on to it because there's more bullish things coming with this administration. And especially if more and more countries were to, you know, even if it was fake, if they were to say, oh, we're adopting the, you know, strategic Bitcoin reserve as well, it would just be a narrative that you'd want to be involved in. So, you know, we'll see what happens with it, but I think this is a pretty good place to accumulate. Okay, yeah, you're welcome. Okay, how many hours are we in now? Oh, wow, it's not even an hour yet. I thought I'd finish this well over an hour. Okay, well, if there's not any other questions, and again, y'all can ask questions anytime. I mean, it doesn't have to just be during this video. If you think of something else, just ask. But we'll wrap it up here. I will timestamp everything for the people that are here watching live. If you did miss something, and I'll get this video posted as soon as I can. And you know, let's just look forward to the pump. I mean, it's coming. I'm definitely not concerned about it, and I don't think many of you are either. But just be careful who you listen to. There's no need to fear. I mean, you're really you know, just putting yourself in a position where it's unwarranted. You know, we are going to see a pump, but you know, try to get outside. Don't look at your charts. It doesn't really matter right now. But here in about a week or two, we'll see something. You know, we'll see some things moving. Okay, well, y'all have a good day. I've got a busy rest of the day, but I'll try to catch up to any questions you have if you DM me. All right, thanks, y'all.